everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the May episode. It is May 24th, 2025, Saturday night. I have such a crazy week with storms out here, but everything's good. We're trucking along. I just wanted to pop on and say hello to everybody, get a little check-in for May, and talk about some of the current shit that's going on in the world of entertainment out there. As I said before, we did have tornadoes come through. We have been doing construction on the wall of our house for months. And it keeps getting delayed because we keep leaving, we keep going on trips, we keep taking care of everything else except for that. And so we do have all the materials to finish the wall, and we were actually planning on getting that done soon. But we had no idea that tornado season does happen around here, but we've been here 3 years and there hasn't been anything crazy. And there actually hasn't been any tornadoes like that have come through here in like about 20 years in this area. So, we just weren't really worried. But then when they said severe thunderstorms, very high winds, we're like, shit, because even some of the materials were out there, that were like bigger, and so we're like, hopefully that shit doesn't fly around. But because of the way that the person who put this house together, it's a fixer upper. We have so many things that we need to be focusing on with it. But because of the fact that we were still working on the wall, it made the roof vulnerable. And so when a tornado came through, the roof just completely, it's like one of those tin ones that is like a pliable type of tin. And so it flopped back all on its back. And it opened up and water just started coming in everywhere, in every area that was not covered up. And so that was a nightmare, but still not even that bad because we just took care of what we needed to take care of, right? Well, then everything stopped, which was amazing. We did go get some tarps real quick and we moved everything and, tried to get everything out of that part of the house. And then when we got back, it gave him enough time to kind of just throw some tarps over the top. So basically, we just had like a 3 or 4 hour time period where Darren got up on the roof at like 7 a.m. and he tried to, he took the tarps off and then he tried to get that metal part kind of flipped back over. And those things are fucking heavy. It's like tons. It's so heavy. And he was up on this roof that was already, kind of needing to be replaced. And all of like the insulation's wet. There's like all kinds of like crap up there, like as gross. And so we're like, shit, I'm like kind of grateful it happened because now we can get a new roof. And we have had some amazing people in the community that have donated some things. It's people that my husband know that he used to work with, and they're gonna come and help too. So, long story short, he had to get up there and try to get that thing flipped over, and it was extremely, extremely hard to do by himself because it kept getting caught every time he would like try to flip it. It would get caught on itself on the other side. So somebody needed to stand on one end and hold that while somebody else kind of lifted it from the other side. And I wasn't going to go on that other side and try to pull it because my ass would have flew off. It was barely anything to stand on. And he was, oh my gosh, he almost fell off a few times. It was scary and it was really hard, but he went to the other side and he pulled on it while I lifted, and at first I couldn't even get it to move at all. I couldn't get it to move. It just would not move. It was so just stuck. So I went and got like a 2x4 and like stuck it underneath it and used it as leverage to lift it. And once I started doing that, it started moving, but it was moving like real slowly. And so Darren came back around to my side and he got under it and he lifted it, and he's really fucking strong. But then I had to hold it. He was like, "All right, take this from me. I gotta go to the other side now." And I'm like, "Ah." And as soon as I got it, it was so heavy. I couldn't believe I started to like lose it a little bit. I was scared because it was also wet up there. And so my feet were sliding a little bit. But oh my gosh, I felt like I was holding like 200 pounds. And that's not a joke. It was extremely heavy. And then I was able to hold it long enough, and he went and he grabbed it, and he when he pulled it, it came all over, but then he was like, "Oh," he's holding on, and that's all that held him up. So it was sketchy as fuck. And then we got off, and he went and he secured it all down. And then the storming started again, and it was insane. That night we had another tornado that came through, and it didn't hit our house, but it hit a bunch of trees. Everybody in my whole area, they have a ton of trees. It was kind of like a huge inconvenience, but I feel like we can get through anything. And as soon as this little rainy stint is past, we will definitely get that done. I'm sure that you'll get an update about that as well. So I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting me, everybody who's been watching all of my videos. I think it's amazing whenever people approach me and they're like, "Oh, I've been following you. I watch your show. I'm so invested now." My daughter has a couple friends that watch it all, and they think it's so cool, and they love, her dad's band. And for a long time, I was kind of cringy. And that's just because my daughter was just growing up. But now she's getting to the age where she's starting to actually think I'm cool again. And I absolutely love that. So that's really fun. She's going to be 14 this year. Blowing my mind. Today I'm going to be kind of at an angle this way just because I have this ridiculous glare whenever I look directly into the camera. So I'm just gonna look over here. I have some notes over here. So, how's everybody been? Um, I know it's been a hectic month. There's all kinds of things going on in the media right now. Current events. Is anybody watching this Diddy trial? Keeping up with it? I cannot believe all the things that are coming out. It's insane. Whenever there's a trial, I mean, just like the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Turd. Amber Heard, they literally aired out everything, and that is exactly what's happening with this. So for anybody who doesn't know what he's being charged with, there's racketeering, there is sex trafficking. I think the other one was something about prostitution. Let's see. Okay, so sex trafficking, racketeering, that's what it is. Transportation to engage in prostitution. So, I mean, depending on how you look at it, I would say all three, because the sex trafficking comes in where whenever they would have these freak offs, Cassie would try to leave. So he wouldn't let her leave. And I mean, that's pretty much the definition of sex trafficking, is when you kind of lure someone in and then they're trapped. Um, and it could be for any amount of time, even if it is just for 24 hours or, I mean, these freak offs would go on. I mean, sometimes they said up to like 4 days. And she would have so many issues like UTIs, this, that, and the other. And then the transportation to engage in prostitution, or at least paying for them, and I don't know if they were coming in or showing up. The highlights of the trial is that Cassie already did her testimony, and she basically came out and said, you know, I wasn't getting enough attention from him. And whenever I wasn't getting enough attention from him, because she was, actually admittedly very obsessed with him, once they fell in love. At first she wasn't that into him, but he just lured her in with all of the everything. She would get to where she missed him and really wanted to be around him, and that was her only way of getting his attention. So they got out in front of that. They definitely had her talk about that right away, about the fact that she would actually initiate these freak offs sometimes. And then they went into all the nasty details, the baby oil. He really liked them to be really oiled up. He was orchestrating everything whenever these things would happen. And a lot of times she would be done way before he would be done. And she would regret even doing it, because it would get to where she was like, okay, enough is enough. And then he would force her to stay or force her to do more. And he would just sit there and jack off while he watched what was going on, telling them what to do. He would tell the prostitutes where to ejaculate on her. And he would basically, then involve himself towards the end. There was a detail about him liking the jizz from the prostitutes to be rubbed all over his nipples, which TMI, but it's literally apparently a part of like what they have to get into, all the details. And Kid Cudi, he testified as well, because he used to date Cassie, and apparently his car was torched with a Molotov cocktail after his relationship with Cassie ended, and it was suspected that Combs was involved in this. The physical abuse, there were definitely, obviously, the famous video that everybody saw, as well as Don Richard, Danity Kane. She did testify about seeing Combs beat Cassie in 2009 and grabbing her hair, dragging her up a flight of stairs. There was also the extortion threats that Cassie Ventura's mother provided testimony in her testimony that there were emails from Cassie that relayed an extortion threat from Diddy involving sex tapes with Kid Cudi, which, that was just, again, in her testimony. And so I don't know necessarily if there's any proof regarding that, but they definitely, have a testimony stating that. And then also the testimony stating, about how he would let her leave specifically during the freak offs. It's, because Diddy is coming out and he's saying, yes, I'm a piece of shit. Yes, I'm a fucking man who did a lot of domestic violence to my partner while in a relationship, but I'm not a criminal. And RICO, or racketeering, the definition of racketeering is basically any type of organized criminal activity that uses like coordinated schemes to make money. So through extortion, fraud, coercion, or like acquiring a business through illegal activity, operating a business with illegally derived income, or using a business to commit illegal acts. So with that, the term is usually associated with organized crime. So it would be, basically if he's making money off of any of these criminal activities that he is definitely seeming to allegedly take part in. Okay. So, yeah, that's super crazy. I can't wait to see like what happens. with all that, if he's gonna get the book thrown at him or if they're just gonna say, oh no, this is just him doing wild things and didn't have profit or income or business matters that were involved in all of it, that it was just like his extracurricular stuff that Cassie would participate in. Um, and I mean, she's awesome because she took a settlement from uh Diddy a while back for, you know, everything that he put her through. And she's still testifying against him, which I think is pretty gangster. Um, and she's embarrassed, you know. I mean, she apparently had sex with so many prostitutes and she had regulars. Um, but he would have her looking through books, picking out men and everything like that. And you know, she openly admitted that, like I said before, that she would initiate this sometimes just to try to get his attention because she just felt like that if she wasn't doing it with him, that he was going to do it with someone else. And he probably did. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure that more will come out. It's still going. So we'll see. I commend Cassie for speaking her truth and coming out with all of the embarrassing details and still standing tall. That's got to be really hard. It's got to be really hard to look at yourself and you know, still love yourself after having been through all of that. And she's doing the work. She's done the work on herself to be openly transparent about the trauma and just the horrible things that have happened to her. So, anyways, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was this Ronnie Radke and Tommy Lee stuff. So this is fucking hilarious. I absolutely love Ronnie Radke. He gets a bad rap. For the longest time, he's always been like the bad boy of metal, involved in the controversial stuff. He's just like balls to the wall. You know, he doesn't give a fuck. And he has a no drinking policy on his tours. He just doesn't even want alcohol around him. Um, and so it seems like he's been more kind of like having a head on his shoulders the last few years because of the clarity, I guess. I don't know what. But he always has people trolling him and talking shit. And I just love the fact that he will fucking call people out. Um, there were a couple situations where he was dating this new woman and he thinks she's beautiful. She's gorgeous, gorgeous, just kind of gothic beauty. And there were so many people that were on his Instagram just talking all kinds of shit about this chick. And he went through, and he is a savage. He went through and he was posting up all of these people's posts, their pages, putting them on blast, posting their faces, and just tearing them a new one. I mean, just talking shit. I mean, I can see why a lot of people don't like it because he would call them names, you know, just talking shit about their appearance, talking shit about all of that. And, you know, but on the other hand, these motherfuckers were on here first talking shit about this lady friend of his. So, I mean, not only is he defending her, but he is firing back. He also has a huge issue with people impersonating him. And more recently, I'm sure that everybody has heard. If you haven't heard, then I will just give you the breakdown of it really quick. So Tommy Lee is married to a woman named Britney Furlan. She's a lot younger than him. Some may say that, you know, she's just with him because he's Tommy Lee. He's an old guy and she just wants a rock star. And, you know, I mean, that's easy for anybody to say about someone who's young and with somebody older. But in this case, in light of like the new developments, I kind of think that I kind of think, well, maybe she is just a thirsty like rock star chaser, I guess. Um, because Ronnie Radke has people impersonating him on Snapchat. He literally has proven and shown his phone. He does not have Snapchat. This Snapchat only has a couple videos on it, and it's videos that he already had on his Instagram that they like stole, basically. And Britney Furlan got catfished by a dude pretending to be Ronnie Radke. Now, Ronnie already knew that these people are impersonating him out there because there's been other people who think that they've been talking to him, who think that they're like in a relationship with him, and it's just not the case. And he has had to get on and defend himself regarding that before. Well, apparently Britney did not get the news about that. And then the way that he found out about this person that catfished Britney through Snapchat is because Tommy Lee reached out to him because he was pissed off that Ronnie Radke was having this relationship with his wife, just like any husband would that loves their wife, you know? And I mean, that's gotta be hard. Like, I mean, you're an old man. Tommy Lee, you know, he has his issues, but he even said this in an interview. He's like, I'm fucking human, you know? We're all human. But you're an older guy, you got this young, good looking, up and coming, rising star who is a rock star, a lead singer, and your wife says she's having a relationship with him, and you're like, what the fuck? So, I mean, of course he's gonna just reach out and be like, you know, bro, stay away from my chick, basically. Well, Ronnie was like, that was not me. I swear I don't fuck with your wife. Your wife got bamboozled. She got hoodwinked. She got catfished. I don't fucking do that shit. So, I mean, of course, at this point, I mean, it's fucking Ronnie Radke. What do you think he's gonna do? He goes on his fucking Instagram, he goes on all of his shit, and he basically breaks it down from beginning to end because the last thing he wants at this point is to be looked at as somebody who's, you know, trying to fuck someone else's wife or in a relationship with someone else's wife, which is basically what Britney said that they like she thought she was carrying on this relationship with Ronnie. And so, you know, he goes on, he breaks it down. He shows everything. He shows all the messages. He talks about it. He's like, how can you be so dumb as to think that this was me? He just was like, you can't make this shit up, guys. So then Brittany, she goes on and she makes a video because she's in a hotel and she's not staying with Tommy right now. Tommy did like an ET interview in the studio. And so now at that point, everybody's talking about it because Ronnie Radke put it all out there. And I don't blame him, you know, have every right to defend yourself. He did kind of like basically say that Britney is an idiot for falling for this. But the bottom line is that it wasn't him. And I believe him. Brittany, she's very, like I said, she made a video in the hotel separated from Tommy about how now he's embarrassing her. She's embarrassed already. And now he's embarrassing her by putting it all out there and that he's trolling her and that he's trying to like ruin her life. And it's like, no, baby, you ruined your life when you fucking wanted to go off and got excited because you were talking to Ronnie Radke and you thought you had a new fucking man that you were going to be able to jump on as soon as you broke up with Tommy. Let's be real. And now you're embarrassed because number one, you're fucking not with your husband anymore. And number two, it's because you thought you were going to have this dude, you know? And it's like, so I don't know. I think that we'll see her with another rock star at some point. She'll find herself another one to latch onto. Nothing. Listen, I'm not trying to hate on Britney Furlan. I feel bad for her. Now she's alone. You know, I understand looking for someone else while you're in an unhappy relationship. I don't condone it. I don't think it's okay, but I can understand it. I honestly would just get out if I was unhappy. But some women do feel the need to kind of find that next person before they exit. And it wasn't Ronnie. He just put out a new song with Marilyn Manson. I am excited to hear it. It's called God is a Weapon. Yeah, so that should be cool. I am a fan of Marilyn Manson, even though he's always all wrapped up in controversy as well. Coachella just happened too, and I saw something that I thought was super cool. If anybody who follows me is a fan of Yungblud, but I actually like him more now that I've heard this. But he basically said that he won't play any huge festivals that charge outrageous, crazy prices. He just doesn't agree with it. And so personally, he just won't play those. And I think that's amazing. I just commend anybody who stands for something. And I just reposted this article uh, this post on my Facebook about it. In Clash magazine, it says Youngblood has spoken out against the rising cost of festival tickets, saying he 100% agrees that prices have gotten out of hand. In response to the trend, he made affordability a key priority for his own event, Bloodfest. The festival, which launched last year at Milton Keynes Bowl. It's set to return next month with 20 acts for just £65. Um, this is just dumb, just stupid. It does not represent real people, he told the BBC. I cannot play a festival where it's like 800 a ticket. How can anyone stand on stage and think that that's okay? And explaining the motivation behind Bloodfest, he added, I was tired of what the festival market had become. I was tired of not being taken seriously by promoters. So I thought I'll start my own. Why not? He continued, there's nothing you can't achieve if it comes from a place of truth and the right reasons. I love that. Fuck yeah. I think that Youngblood is going to be around for a long time. He seems to be someone who is going beyond just the music he creates. He does have a lot of different eclectic types of music out there. There is a couple of his, I mean, I'm not like a huge fan. I don't listen to him all the time, anything like that. I've heard a few songs. I absolutely love the Death Cab for Cutie cover he did with Halsey because he used to date her and they did that together. That's one of my favorite versions of the song, and I listen to it all the time. But other than that, I couldn't tell you much about his music, but I will tell you that he's doing a lot more that is making him more of a public figure, not just a musician. So props to Youngblood, and I hope he succeeds in everything he's doing. Bloodfest, Milton Keynes Bowl. It's in the UK. Yeah. Buckinghamshire, England. It's an open air amphitheater theater. It's hosted concerts by Queen, Michael Jackson, Metallica, Green Day. Yeah, that's amazing. It's putting your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? So let's see. How many dollars is 65? No. Okay, so that would be 87.98 US dollars. That's something that I could do, you know. I don't got it like that. So that's pretty cool. I respect that dude. Go Youngblood. The next person I want to talk about is Yelawolf. I absolutely fucking love Yelawolf. He's a fucking rock star in my opinion, and I am super stoked. I get to go see him July at JJ's Live, and that's gonna be a great time. We have general admission tickets, so we'll be on the floor. He has the sickest collaborations. Benalata with Caskey is my anthem. I fucking love that song. You and Me is one of mine and my husband's favorite songs. Lyrics for You and Me start out black boots, red cup, brown liquor, no suds. Some bad motherfuckers just rolled up. It's good. And then he just came out with a new song. It's a collaboration as well, and it's called I Swear. And it's with J. Michael Phillips, and it gives those vibes. It gives You and Me vibes. It gives daylight vibes. Well, if you know, you know. If you're into Yelawolf, then you would know. But he has this song called Daylight, and that one's really fucking good too. It's all within that realm. It's American all day, every day. I can't wait to go see him. So, all right. Well, on that note, the last tiny segment of my show is where I usually tell you a little rock star encounter story. I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to tell you one that's just like short and sweet. Since we talked about Tommy Lee today, so Tommy Lee is one of those rock stars that's kind of just around everywhere. I mean, you could literally pop up in Vegas and he might be there. You could pop up at the NAMM show. You won't see him the whole time, and then you'll just see him backstage or stuff like that. So that was the gist of really the encounters I've had with Tommy Lee. So the first, I believe it was the time when we were hanging out with Vinnie Paul, and he was in the green room, and he was just in there hanging out with the guys. We were in the same room with him for a little while, and we were all hanging out with him and Vinnie Paul. And then another encounter that was with him was when, with Crystal again, we were in Vegas for her bachelorette party. I believe we were at, oh my gosh, it was one of those huge pool parties at those hotels that they do. I have so much up here with memories that I like can't really tap into exactly what the name of the hotel was, but they would always do these huge pool parties and where they would have like guest DJs, like DJ Pauly D does a lot of stuff like that. This day, Tommy Lee happened to be DJ, and Crystal, she was in her little bikini with her little bride thing, and we were running around just having a good old time dancing, and he was up there DJing, and he like was pouring champagne in all the girls' mouths. Both of us, we went up and we got Tommy Lee poured some champagne down our throats, and we're like, but yeah, so that was my second encounter with Tommy Lee, and nothing that exciting, but that was just a little quick one for you guys. Have an awesome month. The rest of the month in 4 days is Darren and our anniversary is on the 28th. We'll be married for 14 years. It's so fucking exciting. And I don't know, there's just something amazing about growing and continuing to be in love with somebody after that long and having kids that are growing up. And it's just like the love gets to a whole deeper level. And we're closer now than we ever have been. We're best friends, and he fucking loves me. I love him. We're ride or die. I will literally be taking care of that man till he's old, and he'll do the same for me. And I'm so blessed to have him. Happy anniversary, babe. I love you. It's Saturday again. Saturday nights seem to be usually when I film these things. So I think I'll probably just keep going on that trend live from Saturday night. It's Confessions of a Rock and Roll Wifey. Anyways, love y'all.